DJ TT. Polk County's greatest.
DJ TT one time again in the mix. We finna change it up a little bit. Want to talk about one of my friends, Hewitt, that's out there in institution somewhere. I don't understand, but I know I feel my personal feeling that he was locked up, and he did not get him any kind of justice. And sometimes when people don't care about him, that's just people do him any kind of way. But when you got somebody care about you, somebody gonna do something about it. And I'm here today try to open up for somebody to see and reach out to try to help him. You know what I'm saying? Because we done did as much as we can do, and all we can do. It's DJ TT in the mix. Share, subscribe, and like. All right, I have my cousin Nate Berry in here. He's here to tell you he grew up with Hewitt, and he can tell you more about him. I just know I met Hewitt on some business tips, and that's what I know of him, but I don't know a lot about him. I know he always been a DJ, a real DJ man. All right, what you say about him, Snap?
Well, I tell you, boy, they got a real go-get-you, boy. I got a lot of love for Hewitt. He come up out of the hometown Fort Meade. We grew up sports together, school, went to church together. Families, we together as a family. The whole town Fort Meade ain't number so big. So, we all tangled up together, the things you do know and the things you don't know, because you don't know who is who. That's just how close Fort Meade is, the whole city. So we love each other all like we all family, because it's ain't number a little small village, and it take a village to raise a child. And I remember back in the old days, me and Hewitt running around, growing up together, and he picked up some heavy, strong responsibilities on the way. He never was scared of doing nothing. He had his own way, his own mind of how he gonna take care of his domain, what he had with God and the caretake and the work that was ordained on him from his heart. He was real with it. Not running around, and he played a little bit in the streets, running around, but he tended to his business, what God was talking him to do, and to be a provider and go all out for his family. And I seen that, and we shared that within each other, and the classmates that we hung with, we had that type of bond with each other. We knew the ones that were real, and we knew the ones that was phony. So I got to top my hat off to Hewitt for what he going through, his assignment through God. If he can hang on in there, great riches and knowledge and understanding for us all, because this is real, real deep.
Okay, all right. Once again, it's DJ TT. Hewitt, do you want to say something?
I want to give a shout out to Polk County. If you're looking for me, I'm at Putnam CI in Palaca, Florida, East Palaca, Florida. And I just like to say hello to the community that I miss, Polk County, Fort Meade, Bartow, Winter Haven, Haines City, and all the surrounding counties. But I miss y'all out there, and if anybody can try to hear my voice and see that I'm unlawfully in prison in Department of Corrections from foul play by the Sheriff Department in Polk County and foul play by the 10th Judicial in Bartow, Florida. The record speaks for itself that from point one in 2014 that these people violated my rights right off the top with an illegal entry into my property. From that point, I was captured, kidnapped, and taken off my property and been in county jail and prison since that point with no justice. I'm asking for someone to reach out and give me some help from anybody where government is just locked me down. They don't care about the violation to my rights. They don't care about the fruits of the poisonous tree have they committed against me. And it's all throughout my record. Judges, prosecutors, the sheriff himself, his deputies, it's all on the record. But I can't get no help because they're judicially bullying me. They're lynching me judicially in prison, not from a tree, but just holding me in prison for nothing. Nowhere in America is a man doing 20 years in prison for third-degree felony. Nowhere in America is a man doing 25-year probation for third-degree felony when a crime never happened. There is no crime. There is no dog-fighting crime. But I'm in prison for dog-fighting. And the courts won't do anything about it. The judges are playing a dirty game and just holding me in prison. Everybody in my case stems from my 2006 case, where they did the same thing to me. And they just holding me in prison without any remorse. And I need the public's help. I can go into detail on several things and hiding evidence, destroying evidence. The people hear the DNA test from me from over 9 years.
Hey, once again, it's DJ TT in the mix. From my understanding, he done filed 40 motions. And normally when you file so many motions, they block you out. You can't block no more because they say it's frivolous. You're a frivolous writer. So none of them been denied, but all of them, but they never been answered. All right, Heavy T, what you got to say on that Hewitt Grant situation?
First of all, I'm just an innocent bystander looking from the outside, and I see a lot of things that that's been coming to light here lately, as I look over the case and I get deeper, I read over some paperwork and I put a couple things in for you, and I noticed that things change, once his name is brought up. So, and the proof is in the pudding. You already see, we just got a glimpse of that ourselves just now.
That's when they cut us off?
Yes, sir. So, things happen. I just know from my studying on myself and looking into stuff, I know that some things ain't right.
Do you know how many motions he filed? And I don't think none of them been turned down. How many?
Call back, man. I got him back on.
Okay.
Hey.
How many motions you have filed?
Since I've been in prison, and today's date is 86 motions have been filed. 46 of them back to Bartow, Florida. None of these motions have ever been answered. I have filed motions, new discovered evidence, fraud against the court, 3.850s, mandamuses. The court system in Bartow refuses to follow the law on the 3.850F that tells you if I file substantial evidence that you did something wrong to me, the only way to beat me is you must refute the record by attaching the record to the claim to show me where I can't get relief.
Right.
They have yet to do that. That's why the court system hasn't stopped me from filing 10 years later. In prison, you can't file post-conviction for 10 years.
Right.
It's unheard of that a man had filed 80-some motions. The rest of those motions is throughout the state of Florida, in Calhoun County, Tallahassee County, where I've been locked up at, where I filed for relief, that I was falsely incarcerated. So even in Putnam, East Palaca, where I'm at, I have filed against the Department of Correction in the courthouse that I'm being held illegally and nobody does anything. But it's unheard of for a man in prison to file that many motions and not be barred or sanctioned against the court.
That's in the world.
That's real.
That's in the world.
That's in the world.
Because they will bar you.
But the court system is not playing by the rules. I have been doing law now for over 8 years. In these 10 years, I've been gone 10 years, 6 months. And the court system itself, they just refuse to follow the rules. Even the district court. When I file an appeal about it, they just, what they call pecuniary preferred, meaning they denied in silence.
Right.
Why should anybody go to the district court if you're not going to give me an opinion? I need an opinion to tell me, oh, they're right about this, or he's right about that. But the system itself is not working like that. In Florida, it doesn't work like that. It's modern-day slavery in Florida. I can't go to the Florida Supreme Court because you can't get past the district court. It's all a game with your life. And they're picking and choosing people of color who they playing games with.
I agree.
They're picking and choosing. But I as I was saying earlier, with my friends helping me, I discovered evidence of DNA tests that they never say they had, and they got on the stand and said that looked like apparent blood when it was negative for apparent blood. But they went through trial. That's a Brady Gigolo violation. But I have yet to get any relief on it. I should have been released from prison immediately. In my case, the judge, when they started my trial, he told the state attorney what not to do. Make sure you don't tell them that they went to Mr. Grant's house on a tip, because it's hearsay. So he's helping the state. The judge, Wayne Durton, he's helping the state. Everybody would be surprised to find out that Judge Dennis Maloney, he never had an oath of office since 2002. But how many people of color has he put in prison since 2002? People need to do their homework on this judge to find out. The state of Florida don't care because it'll overturn too many cases. That's why nobody wants to know about it. That's why they shut me down at it.
So it's a lot of his cases have been overturned?
Yeah. If he didn't have an oath of office, then he didn't have all the credentials to be a judge. He's a retired senior judge in 2015 when I went to court.
So he's something like a Your Majesty. He's not a judge.
Well, they had him as a judge.
He used to be. He used to be. Yeah, he used to be.
His title was retired senior judge. He come in on part-time things. But you still got to go to school. If you look in the law books on the Judicial Commission over judges, the canons, you look at the canons on judges, he got to go to school to keep up with the law. And he got to have an oath of office. Everybody in government got to raise their hand. They swear to protect the Constitution, support the Constitution, be in the Constitution. He don't have one of those. And if a person don't got that, then I didn't get a fair trial.
Okay. Okay? But you have to go refreshing up anytime and all the time because laws change every year.
Every 6 years, they must do a new oath of office.
Right. Right.
The fraud in my case, it's so much fraud in my case where they testified that I didn't know about a lot of stuff and law at that time, and now that I'm doing law, there's so many things that is fraudulent in my case. I should immediately come back to Bartow for a new trial. But they're not going to give me a new trial because there's no evidence. There's no crime in the case of dogfight. And most importantly, is witnesses that saw everything, but they won't let me have the witnesses. Who are the witnesses? Bartow Animal Clinic. That day I got arrested. Bartow Animal Clinic was on the property doing rabies shots and exams on my dogs in Fort Lee, Florida.
That's your right.
They bust on the property with no warrants, no probable cause, and no crime being committed. These deputies, Deputy Dixon, Deputy Anderson, and Deputy Scarborough, these people testified that they didn't have no probable cause, no search warrant, and I wasn't committing a crime. And I've been locked up for dog fights for 10 years.
That's also called trespassing.
Trespassing.
Yes, sir.
I tried to file criminal charges against them, but the state attorney Jerry Hill, Brian Hess, the new state attorney, they would not hear me.
Right.
They won't do anything. They just like any other trespasser. So nobody won't do anything. And I have tried with the FDLE. They won't help because they want the sheriff department to do the investigation. The sheriff department not going to do a legal investigation. I have wrote so many people for help, but Polk County got that stigma that this man is some type of god. The sheriff is some type of god that you're scared of. But I'm not scared of him. He's nobody. He's just a man that's abusing his power. Is who he is. He's just a man that's abusing his power.
Right.
But they have put me in prison in a case where there's no crime of dogfighting. If you look up the statute 828-122, the statute will tell you possession of animals is not a crime. It tells you my paper that the jury had. It tells you that in order to convict me, it's got to be some evidence of animal fighting. In my case, dog fighting. Nobody testified to a dog fight. The only witnesses is the police who broke on the property. They didn't want to testify.
So you've been locked up falsely. You've been in prison falsely in prison.
Falsely in prison. 10 years running. 10 years running. No crime. When you go to jail, ain't no crime. That crime that I'm under, there's no crime. That crime didn't happen.
Okay.
It's non-crime. So they give me those type of charges. And then if you look me up on the Department of Corrections, I'm not even in jail on the animal fighting invading.
What you in jail for?
I'm in prison under using animals to gamble.
To
I
use
filed a
animal to
motion on
gamble.
If you look me up, I'm under animals 828-122G. There's no money in the case. There's no gambling. Nobody went to jail with me, and they took my girlfriend to jail just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
In the case, on page 473 of my trial, the people tell you that they claim they got a dogfighting pit that I had, but they took it to the Polk County landfill and destroyed it. Detective Scarborough. They asked, did you take any pictures, a test, or samples?
That's
He
evidence.
said, they said no. He don't have that. Who gave him permission to destroy evidence before the trial?
No, you got to have
State
evidence.
attorney? Nobody. The judge or state attorney didn't do it. There's no record of it. There's no pictures of it. But he was able to tell the jury about it. That helped convict me. And a lot of people would think that, well, I'm in prison because I had an injunction not to own dogs from 2006 when they ran down on me in 2006 on my property. The case got overturned for police misconduct for illegal entering the property again.
Mm-hmm.
And when the case got overturned, the injunction that they did put on me wasn't any good anymore. But in 2014, when they bust me because they made another illegal entry, they used the injunction to get a search warrant. And it tells you plainly in my discovery that we got a search warrant because Mr. Grant violated an injunction, and we're taking the animals for the violation of injunction. But Hewitt Grant ain't never been to a civil hearing for an injunction. Hewitt Grant ain't never signed an injunction. And most importantly, Hewitt Grant ain't never been to a violation of injunction.
You also have to go to court to get an injunction. And then you have to go back to court to be a permanent injunction. You can't get an injunction if you've never been to court for an injunction.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Statute 1.610 is the injunction statute.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get it. And then the injunction would even tell you what I'm refrained from doing. It just tell you I'm refrained from having animals.
Mm-hmm.
But an injunction got to tell you what you refrain from doing. So they don't even do that. They never found me guilty of abusing any animals. They charged me $38,000 and didn't have a hearing. They just charged me that. The statute tell you got to take me to a hearing. So they have violated all my rights and took it right into 2014 and did it to me again. My 2006 case and my 2014 case are identical cases with the same sheriff, same state attorney, Jerry Hill, same type of prosecution with the same judges. Judge Dennis Maloney, he gave the one in 2006. He's over my suppression hearing in 2014. Wayne Durton, Judge Wayne Durton, he was a state attorney over my case in 2006. He's over my trial in 2014. And the list just goes on and on. Judge Denmark, she worked for the sheriff department in 2006 as a lawyer. 25, she denied my illegal sentence. She denied my new discovered evidence.
So basically, you saying they doing what they want to do. They ain't running by law. They running by what they feel and what they can do.
They're following no law. I tell this to my friends all the time. Snap and Heavy, Mario, Dennis. I cry to them every day. About the wrongdoing, but nobody's following no rules, no laws, no nothing. The higher court may tell the lower court answer this in 10 days. They don't do it. If they tell me to answer something in 10 days and I don't answer, they'll throw the case out.
They'll bat it down.
Yeah, it's no fairness.
Yeah.
I urge anybody, don't get in no trouble because it ain't worth it. This ain't nothing but modern day slavery. These people just making money off you and they're not gonna be fair to you. I urge all kids, man, 8 to 18, man, don't get in no trouble. I've been held in prison, man, 10 years running. Straight up, around nothing but prison is nothing but junkies. Nothing here but a wasteland of bodies. That's all here. And that's where you got me at, a man that owned his clubs and restaurants, record stores, did things in my community. You just took me away from all of that. Took me from my family. My children, who were children at the time. I've missed 10 years of their life. 10 years. But they don't care because they with their family. They doing what they did when they brought us here. Separate black people. You separate black people, you will never have a strong You never have a strong community. All you got to do is separate them, mostly the man. So I'm giving it to you raw and what it is. When I walk away from this, when I look to walk away from it soon, when God intervenes, I want to be an advocate in it. I look to walk away soon because my sentence is illegal. Even my sentence is illegal. I'm doing concurrent sentences and consecutive sentences. I can't do both. I'm under one information, and under one information, 921.16, I can only do concurrent unless they send me all up to consecutive.
Yeah.
I'm doing both.
Either or.
So I pray.
That's called either or. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one criminal episode, one score sheet, one information. All my charges read the same way. They just say dog 1, dog 2, and they all read the same way. People got me doing a 45-year sentence, unheard of in the United States. Unheard of. So I'm only fighting because I got help from good friends in the community out there. So many people been offering so I can get paralegals and get lawyers and buy public records. That's the only way I'm staying up. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for sending money and helping me because it's lonely out here. It's bad here, man.
I agree.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can to get back to my family.
Yeah, been there, done that. But, you know, DJ TT and podcast, I hope somebody out there can reach out and help him and lead him in the way he can and can get back home to his family because, like, from my understanding and my knowledge, he's being punished for something and false in prison for something he ain't doing. He didn't do. That's not justice. That's not law.
That's not the American way. Is it?
No, it's not the way. It's not of the American way at all. So, you know, all right. But we're going to end this podcast, and we're going to episode 2. But if anybody can help my homeboy out there, Hewitt Grant, DJ TT, truly appreciate it. Heavy, is there anything else you got to say, Heavy?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Ow! What you got to say, Snap?
Keep looking toward the hills, Hewitt. The day coming, baby.
It's got to. Unjust. All right. This is DJ TT once again. This episode going to be called The Unjust.
DJ TT, Polk County's greatest.